Jayhawks on quite a run, 12 in a row. Duke loses to Florida State. Polls change a little bit, and the #1 team is back here in Lawrence.
Yeah, it's good to be back here in Lawrence as far as the #1 ranking. It's been a while, but with the #1 ranking comes a little more weight on your shoulders, and that's not only you were always going to get everyone's best shot anytime Nebraska comes to town, but tonight you're going to really get their best shot. I mean, they want to be able to beat the #1 team in the country. Look at Florida State doing it to Duke, who we thought was unbeatable. And so it doesn't really matter who you play. You got to come out. It's conference time right now. You got to go out every single game and play to win.
One of the reasons for the Jayhawks' success, certainly the success of Drew Gooden. Greg, before this year started, we knew that Drew was going to be very good. Certainly a first-team preseason all-pick in the conference, but did we have any idea that he would be this good at this point of the year?
Well, he's such an explosive player that is such a quick jumper. I mean, he gets, he's averaging 21 and 12 right now, and it could be a lot more than that because he is just so quick to the ball. He's got great touch. If it wasn't for Jason Williams, you'd be looking at the player of the year in the country. I mean, Jason Williams is everybody's pick before the year and probably will be after the year's over. But Drew Gooden has done a lot to put him in the same sentence as Jason Williams. So, not overshadowing the fact that Nick Collison, every game in and game out, he's solid. Kirk Heinrich, solid. The whole team right now, whenever you're 12-1, you're getting a lot of production out of a lot of the guys. It's not just Drew Gooden.
We'll talk about that a little bit. The balance. Everybody seems to be talking about that of late. You've got Drew Gooden putting up the big numbers, but then you mentioned people kind of forget about the Collisons, the Heinrichs, and then you got Jeff Boschee stepping out, hitting a few, and then Aaron Miles is a freshman. He's just blending into the mix.
Oh, it's no different than any other Roy Williams coach team. You never see a guy that averages 28 points a game and the next guy averaging 12. You got, Drew Gooden averaging 21 is, I don't know the records, but probably in the last 10 years, there's probably, I don't know if there's a player that's averaged over 20 points a game. And that's not because Coach Williams holds you back. It's just that you got so many good players. It's hard to really do that. And so Drew Gooden has done so well this year because he just plays hard, fundamental things. Nick Collison is just such a consistent player. I mean, if you take a poll right now of conference coaches, how would you not put 3 Kansas Jayhawks on the all-Big 12 team? I mean, I don't know if that's ever happened before, but if there's any year that could happen, it could be this year.
Well, how about Nebraska a little bit? What do the Cornhuskers have to be thinking? Who made this schedule if you're them? You go to Missouri on the road, ranked 17, previously number 2. Yeah. Then you come to Kansas. Nebraska, Greg, hasn't won a road game yet this year.
No, and they've lost some games also this year. They've lost to Sam Houston State. They've, winning, you're not, even before the year, probably winning at Missouri was a long shot. And, obviously winning here. But, yeah, the schedule makers were not kind to Nebraska. They haven't had a very good week. Blown out Rose Bowl, at Missouri, at Kansas. So, Kerry Cohorn being their leading scorer, and nothing against Kerry Cohorn, but he's not the kind of guy that you think about as the leading scorer of a team. He's a very good three-point shooter, but usually they got a Cookie Belcher or an Eric Strickland or somebody, a Piakowski, and they just don't have that right now. And Barry Collier's in his second year at Nebraska, and he's a very good coach. It's just a tough place to come in, get players you want to get in here and win immediately, because you got to play Kansas twice every year. You got to play Missouri twice every year. Not to mention, the Big 12's pretty strong. There's some weak teams, but there's also some really strong teams.
Jayhawks trying to make it 13 in a row. Nebraska trying to get on the board in the Big 12. Let's take a timeout. When we come back, the starting lineups and the opening tip.
You got a Big 12 opener, middle of the season, whatever. You still got to play. You still got to go out there and get it done.
But what do the Jayhawks have to do tonight to win this thing?
Well, the keys to the game are pretty much the same every time. Pressure, 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 play good defense, create turnovers, and have a nice mix of your inside-outside game. Obviously, the inside play for Kansas has been a dominant force all year. Go to what's gotten you there before. Go to Drew Gooden, go to Nick Collison, pound the glass, and play good defense. There's Barry Collier. Doesn't look like the happiest guy around. I'm about to play the #1 team in the country. I don't have my best team that I'd like, but go out there and see what we can do. And, this is by no means a rollover game for him. I mean, they're competitors. They're good players. They're in a good conference. They're not just going to come out here and lay down. So Kansas has to come out there and just do the things that they're good at doing and win a ball game.
Coach Collier, of course, in his second season. Pretty good start, Greg, to this year. Reeled off 6 straight wins to start the year, but then All 6 of those games against not the greatest opponents. And hey, guess what? They were all at home. And you mentioned the lineup that he had and the team that he had. We'll take a look at the starting lineups right about now. And there they are. Buckendahl, Turek, Clemens, Cohorn. Yes, folks, that is Cohorn, no matter how you spell it. And Muehlheisen, a couple of tough names there. A couple of junior college transfers, a couple of freshmen. You got a strange mix on a team. These guys have only played together for the 12 games of this season.
Yeah.
As for the Jayhawks, it's the usual 5. Gooden, Collison, Heinrich, Boschee, and Miles. 3 guards on both sides, 2 forwards. It matches up really, maybe the first time this year. But talk about the Nebraska side. You got such a strange mix and a new mix of guys.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime you see a struggling team, you want to look at the chemistry, and the chemistry involved here is not that great. You got some junior college guys. Last win in Lawrence back February 10th of '99, and then Kansas leads the all-time series by a bunch, and 10-2 in the Big 12 play. But you still got to go out and play the game. And again, back to the chemistry aspect. This KU team's been playing together, with the exception of Aaron Miles in the starting lineup. You got some guys that you had 3 juniors and a senior and 1 freshman, and you don't think of Aaron Miles as a freshman anymore. He really plays like a veteran.
Tip is won by the Jayhawks. Drew Gooden gets it to Aaron Miles. Nebraska comes out in a man-to-man. Heinrich wants 3, and he's got it. That's a great start for KU. 3-0, 15 seconds in.
Trying to post Collison, it wasn't there. Kirk shoots it, starts the game off with a 3, and it's exactly what Barry Collier didn't want.
Turek gets it inside. The freshman, John Turek. That's a heck of a move right there for the guy from Council Bluffs, Iowa. He's on the board. Jayhawks don't care. I think Kirk Heinrich's out to prove something tonight.
Ball travels 92 feet, doesn't hit the floor. Kirk Heinrich gets an 8-foot jumper. He's got 5 points in 45 seconds.
Kirk Heinrich 5, Nebraska 2.
You got to watch out for Cohorn. He can definitely shoot the ball. He's their leading scorer, and if you leave him open, he can hit it. He's not the biggest guy in the world, so he does need space.
Averaging 14.5 points a game. Muehlheisen misses big time on the 3-pointer. Jayhawks corral the rebound. Jake Muehlheisen averaging 12 points a game for a freshman. He is their 2nd leading scorer behind Kerry Cohorn. Hawks go right inside. Drew Gooden. That's as automatic as it gets. Drew's on the board. The Hawks lead it 7-4.
For a team that leads the nation in scoring offense, 7 points in a minute 30 will get them right back to that 93 points a game pretty quick. Nebraska's going to have to do something differently, but there's not a lot you can do when you make nice post feeds like that, and Drew Gooden gets the ball 5 feet away from the basket.
Steal underneath. Last touch by Kirk Heinrich. Looked like it might have been knocked away by Kerry Cohorn, but the Huskers will keep it.
Here's the replay. Drew Gooden does a great job of sealing his guy off, reverse the ball. Nick Collison, great passer for a big man. Drew Gooden's going to make that 2-foot shot all day.
Muehlheisen, oh no, that was actually it's Buckendahl, and they will not call the over and back. Well, Turek on the inside, freshman misses this one. Rebound to Drew Gooden, and I think Drew wants to play point guard.
Yeah, what happens there on that, when you have a fumbled ball and you don't gain possession, then it's not an over and back, but get the ball underneath this time to Nick, and
working against the freshman, can't quite get it to go. Gooden got 1 tap on it, but Nebraska comes away with it. The other direction, Brennan Clemens. Clemens, one of those JUCO guys that we talked about coming over. His first year as a Husker, junior from Indianapolis. Jumper from the corner, misfiring. That is Jake Muehlheisen missing his 2nd one. Jayhawks running, Boschee 3. Yep.
How about this? That's how you lead the country in scoring. On a missed basket, made basket, doesn't matter. Get the ball up quick, make Nebraska scramble a little bit, and going to be the best 3-point shooter in Kansas history. He's only about 7 away. Hits his first 3 of the game.
Actually, I think, Greg, his toe was on the line. They give him just a 2, so it's 9-4 Jayhawks. More like 2.5. Miles on the run. Drew Gooden inside. Oh, look out. That was a nice tip away from Clemens. And a steal for the Huskers because Drew Gooden was about to jam one home.
Nice drive that time. Just whenever you get the ball, a 6'10" guy, little guys are going to scrape at it, and picked one up there. Took a bucket away from Drew.
Jayhawks lead it 9-4, 3 minutes in on your Subway scoreboard, and I think this is the kind of start the Hawks are hoping for. You know, over in Missouri, Nebraska fell behind 7-0 and then scored 10 straight. Clemens will get the lay-in, but it won't count. We've got a charge before that. Brennan Clemens.
Great help defense that time. You get beat one way. Coach Williams teaches a sideline defense where you want to be shoulder to shoulder with your guy when he's matched up on the sideline, and that time is great defense. Freshman numbers, can't ask for a whole lot more than that. Look at that assist to turnover ratio for Aaron Miles. You want to be at least 2-to-1, and he's a little bit under that, but as a freshman, he's doing a heck of a job, and he plays great defense.
And he's got some talent around him. Heinrich is hot, and he's still on fire.
Wow.
Kirk Heinrich's got 8, folks. We're 3.5 minutes in. It's 12-4.
2 great games in a row for Kirk. He really played well in Colorado, as did the entire team, but Kirk Heinrich's outside jump shot is so good. Right there's the defense by Aaron Miles, and about to get a big flush.
Nick Collison with the jam. Jayhawks lead it by 10. Coach Collier's got to be thinking, do I take a timeout here? Allen Fieldhouse crowd on its feet.
Great defense by Aaron Miles. Nick Collison gets out. He's not going to get an easier bucket than that all night.
Muehlheisen in the lane, tipped away, scrambled for the ball. It finally rolls out to Buckendahl. Left side, this is Clemens, and that one is nowhere near the target. Kirk Heinrich wants to run, bounces to Drew, who finishes.
Wow, Barry Collier ought to think about getting a timeout because he got another bucket. There he goes, gets a 20-second timeout. 16 points in 4 minutes and 19 seconds.
And that's a 9-0 run from the Jayhawks. Some great shooting, some great running, and some great finishing.
Yeah, it helps when the other team's throwing up air balls, but got the ball out there quick. Drew Gooden can finish, and the last 2 buckets here. Great defense by Aaron Miles. He just throws it up. Nice lead to Nick Collison. He kind of looks behind, but he says, even if Cohen was there, I'm still going to dunk on you. Great pitch ahead by Kirk Heinrich. Drew Gooden runs the floor. Actually makes a pretty difficult shot, but everything clicking for the Jayhawks right now.
Kirk Heinrich 3 for 3 from the field, 2 for 2 from behind the arc. He's got 8 points, and to go with that, he's got 2 assists. He's responsible for at least 12 points in this game.
He's your quarterback. He always has the ball in his hands, even with this 3-guard offense, and you like your chances when Kirk Heinrich's got the ball.
Well, we'll see what Barry Collier and the Huskers did during that timeout, if they changed anything. 16-4. Corey Sims checks into the game for the Huskers for the first time. Missing is Cohorn. Rebound to the Hawks. Collison, tremendous position on the inside. He'll score. He's fouled.
Wow, they're just doing everything right. Nick Collison gets great position underneath. Nice head fake. And there's not a lot you can do at it. Whether this is Nebraska or Duke, it doesn't matter. If you get the ball that low, you're going to score.
18-4. Jayhawks on top. Keith Langford will check in for Aaron Miles. A nice start for the freshman. He's got 3 assists. Didn't attempt a shot, didn't get a rebound, but he didn't turn it over either. Wayne Simeon will check in at the next whistle. He's going to come in for Nick Collison if Nick makes his free throw, which he does. A timeout on the floor. 15 minutes, 19 seconds left in the first half. Hawks all over the Huskers. It's 19-14.
19 points, 4 minutes. That's pretty impressive. And if they keep doing this, this could get really ugly really fast, because if they continually play great defense, and if you get the ball underneath with those 2 guys, they're going to score.
When was the turnover?
Drew Gooden almost dunked on the guy.
That's right. Had it stripped away. Right. That's right. There it is. And there you have it. John Robinson II checks into the game for Nebraska. In the lane, that's Sims, Corey Sims, who missed it. And then Wayne Simeon pretty much wrestles it away from whoever he wants. Boshi did not have the numbers, decides to set up. Kirk Heinrich feeling it. Boshi really open, really open. And playing at home when you get those nice rolls. 5 for Jeff. It's 22-4. Are you kidding me?
That's a 3. He made sure he was behind the line that time. And like you said, it's a shooter's roll. Hit the front of the rim, might bounce in.
Drew gets a hand in the passing lane, knocks it away from Brian Conklin, a sophomore. A lot of young guys on this Cornhusker team, and we're going to see a lot of people in the game.
Yeah, I think we are going to see a lot of people. It's going to get to a point where Barry Collier might try to get some quality minutes to some guys that don't play a whole lot.
Jumper long from the corner from Conklin, who averages 8 points and 4 boards a game. Boshi open back to back. Got it. Jeff Boschee hammers down another one. He's got 8. It's 25-4.
I wish we could get a shot of the Nebraska coaches over there. Not a whole lot of happy faces, and they're just kind of a helpless look like, what can we do? Not a whole lot if you keep shooting. 4 for 4 from behind the line.
Nebraska struggling from the field, continues to struggle, folks. It's a 20-0 run. Easy lay-in underneath will break that. Sims finishes that thing off, and finally, Nebraska gets an easy one. Heinrich to answer. Oh my! Kirk's 4 for 4. 3 for 3 from behind the arc. He's got 11. It's 28-6.
How can you argue with the #1 ranking? This they play like this. 28 points, 28-6.
Nebraska still firing away jumpers. Again, missing Brian Conklin. Hawks.
Shoot it.
Boschee. That one was long. I think someone bumped his elbow. I think he got the bump there. He looked a little bit. That one came off kind of weird.
That was a force. I mean, all the other three-pointers that they've shot, they've had their feet set, and that's what you'd call, you get into a zone, you think anything's going to go in. That was probably an ill-advised shot, but what are you going to do?
Cohorn almost gives it up. Instead, it's last touch by Kirk Heinrich. It's 28-6. 28-6. Jeff Boschee takes a seat. Aaron Miles back in the game, and Nick Collison checks in for Drew Good.
Wasn't that the score of the Rose Bowl? What was it?
If you take Nebraska's Rose Bowl and
37-14. Let's see if we get to 37.
that Colorado game.
Wow. Nebraska's had their share of blowouts this year.
Michael Lee's going to check in for Kirk Heinrich. So Lee getting some early action with 13 minutes left in the first half. And the Hawks leading by 22. KU on pace to score about 85 points this half.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Sims, who has 2, gives it up. This is Muehlheisen.
There's not a whole lot of places to go. Every shot they've taken has been in over someone's hand. Just like that one.
Yeah, Robinson at the buzzer misses. Wayne with the rebound. Oh, Keith Langford. Oh, Keith Langford. Keith Langford.
Everybody's hitting. Keith Langford, not exactly your go-to guy from behind the line, but he proves that he can hit it. Comes in the game for about 30 seconds, knocks the 3 down.
31-6. 12-20, folks. That's in the first half. Nebraska having all kinds of trouble just running a play. Robinson from about 17. Got it. He got the very kind roll, and the Hawks finally give up 2. It's 31-8. Keith Langford at the other end, running and gunning. Keith's got 5. He's been in the game for what? 35 seconds, maybe 40?
Yeah, just like we talked about. Made baskets, missed baskets, it doesn't matter. Heinrich, Boschee, Miles, they all get the ball up the court very quickly. And over Wayne Simeon there. Wayne was coming out trying to get his first block, but here they come back again. They're not going to get a layup, but they do push the ball up, and that's exactly the way Coach Williams wants things.
Robinson at 6'1" with the nice floater over the top of Wayne Simeon. Langford to the bucket to Wayne Simeon. It's kicked around and last touched by, I don't think they know. They're going to give it to Nebraska. The crowd hates it, but it's 33-10, folks. Come on. 11:27 left in the first half. Jayhawks leading by a lot on your Subway scoreboard. Kansas basketball on Channel 6, brought to you in part by Emprise Bank. We understand the daily business of life. Also by Mad Creek, taste the Mediterranean, taste the Mad Creek. By New Physical Therapy, helping people help themselves. And by Aaronsburg Shoes. Aaronsburg's providing the best in footwear for students, alumni, and all of Lawrence for over 40 years. What a start for the Jayhawks out of the gate, shooting 81%. Greg, at the last time out, Hawks are shooting 80%. I figured it was going to only go down from then. Wrong. I was wrong. It's going up since 8 for 10.
Here's some of those plays. Kirk Heinrich, that started the game off. Just an open 3. There's another open 3 by Jeff. Nice shooter's roll. Keith Langford gets his feet set. He's got a nice, smooth lefty stroke from the 3-point line, and he gets 5 points right away.
Makes it look easy.
How about that? 6 for 6. Should have been 7 for 7. Boschee knows better than to have his foot on the line.
Robinson was feeling it before the timeout. Misses here in a push underneath, and it's going to be on Nebraska.
They're just getting no breaks. 44. He's just looking at it like, come on, give me a break, turd.
Michael Lee will check out. Kirk Heinrich back in, and that is bad news for Cornhusker fans.
Barry Collier's thinking, all right, some of the guys on the bench come in and they still shoot a better percentage than they did. Now they come back with Bochy and Heinrich, Collison, Simeon, and Miles now running the point. So good to see Heinrich and Bochy run a little bit of the 2 and 3 positions.
Jayhawks back out there with the 4 starters and Wayne Simeon in for Drew Gooden, and finally a miss from the corner. Wow. Too bad, huh?
Had that play called. That was the box set that you have the beauty of running 3 point guards with it. They can penetrate. All 3 of them can penetrate and pitch, and they can all shoot, obviously. So.
No, Bochy got to Corey Sims a little late. That was well after the shot. Are they going to call it on the shot? Or is it on the floor? No, 2 shots for Corey Sims. Averages 5 points and about 3 boards a game. Freshman from St. Louis. Another one of those youngsters, a guy that is coming off the bench, and you already figured they got the 2 JUCO guys in there, plus 2 freshmen starting already. Coach Collier certainly laying the foundation for years to come.
Yeah, and that's all you can hope for. I mean, they're not as bad as everyone thinks. I mean, they did win 6 games earlier, no matter who you play and whether or not they're at home. They can win ball games. They got young guys. He's a good coach, so they're not going to be down for long.
33-12 after the 2 free throws from Sims. Crowd a little bit quieter now. The Jayhawks jumped out to that big lead. It was 33-10. Jayhawks actually led it by 25. Heinrich for 3, a little bit short. Rebound taken by. Nice play that time by Jake Muehlheisen to keep it alive. Maybe an opportunity here for Nebraska to string a couple of buckets together in a row. Oh, maybe not. Jayhawks will get it back. Knocked out of bounds after misfiring from close.
Sims and Robinson came in the game, and they're really aggressive towards the basket. It hasn't turned into a whole lot of points, but they are going towards the basket, and they are trying to make things happen. So it's a good sign, but Kansas just has a lot of firepower on defense and offense. Here's back to the box set again. They're going to try to run some set plays here, work on some things that they don't always get a chance to work on.
Jayhawks moving it around, being patient. 13 on the clock, and Wayne Simeon finally says, enough of this. This is our longest possession of the night. Wayne flips it home, and he gets on the board. His first 2. It's a 23-point lead once again.
And Wayne's been in the game for 2 or 3, 4 minutes, and he hasn't touched the ball yet, so he says, "Like, get it. I'm shooting it."
Bochy with the loose ball. Miles has it tipped away. Muehlheisen got it from behind. Hawks will keep it. 9:38 under the 10-minute mark now here in the first half, and it's all Jayhawks.
It's about 10 feet from the bucket, and that's a great looking shot. That's the type of shots that the big men work on every single day in practice. Nice little favorite move by Wayne Simeon, little baby hook. See if Nick does the same thing from the other end.
Aaron Miles in the lane. Aaron so far still has not taken a shot. Nick Collison has, though.
Nick Collison has said enough of this. That possession, there was not very good spacing. There's about 4 or 5 guys in the lane at all time, but Nick Collison was able to rise up and knock down the 13-footer.
Jayhawks have beaten the Cornhuskers 5 straight times overall. Collison now 3 for 4 from the field. He's got 7 points. Great move by Robinson to get to the hole, but he missed it. Will Kirk take it all the way when we see the spin move? How about Aaron for 3? Not falling. A rebound ripped down by Corey Sims. Backdoor was never there. Collison gets up and grabs the pass from Brian Conklin. Heinrich to Bochy.
Nice pass, good push, good defense on the other end by Nick Collison, not allowing the alley-oop. His man came and screened. He helps off for a split second, steals the ball, and Jeff knocks down an easy jump shot for him.
Jeff and Kirk have combined for 21 points. Jeff is 4 for 6 from the field. Heinrich 4 for 5. Those guys combined 5 for 7 from behind the arc. Well, that's pretty solid.
That is really solid. Unfortunately, Matt Doherty, now at North Carolina playing Maryland, is just
getting worse.
Whooped. Kentucky, there you go. They lost earlier this week or this past weekend.
Mississippi State blew what, a 16-point lead or 17-point lead, led like 19-2.
Yeah.
Well, Nebraska's going to get an easy one here, slipping behind everybody. Jake Muehlheisen.
You never want to see that happen, but when you run a lot of zones, or excuse me, traps and stuff like that. Jeff, can you hit another one? Oh, he might try to break that record tonight
He's smiling. He needs, what, 8?
Something like that. Well, he's already got, what, 2 tonight?
At 2, he needs 6 more.
6 more. It could happen.
All-time launcher in KU history.
Let's say, who has that record now? What is that? Greg Gurley? Is that right? Is that right? Check the stats there.
We'll check that.
I had like
We're going to have to get our
260 something.
Our stat crew on that.
Or actually, I was in 28th place, I think.
Under 8-minute timeout coming up right here. 7:21 to go, folks. It's 39-14, but please, we beg you stick around. It's going to be fun anyway. At Allen Fieldhouse, 39-14 on your Subway scoreboard. Kevin Romery, Greg Gurley with you. Tonight's game on Channel 6 brought to you in part by People's Bank. Banking unusual, member FDIC. By JB Stouts, voted the #1 sports bar in Lawrence. By Morisco's, Lawrence's brand new Southwest Seafood Restaurant. And Domino's Pizza. Get the door. Glenn, get the door. Glenn Hoyt doing stats for us tonight. Ordered a pizza and he left the table to go pick it up at the front. They won't let you in the field house unless you got a ticket, even if you're a pizza delivery guy. So they ring the doorbell. They come and tap you on the shoulder and you got to go get it yourself.
Pizza'd be good, yeah. Get on that, will you?
39-14, all Jayhawks so far. And looking at these numbers, they confuse me. 6 of 20 Nebraska, shooting just 30%. 0 of 8 from the three-point land, and bite my tongue, because right as I say that, a 3 is unleashed by Brennan Clements. Jeff Carey getting some minutes here in the first half. Can't get that rebound, and it's a 22-point game, and Nebraska has the ball.
Kirk Heinrich, nice push job that time, but he had to shoot it over a couple tall guys and change his shot a little bit.
Jeff Carey with an aggressive board. Haven't seen much of Jeff with the emergence of Wayne Simeon this season. Senior. Going to get some minutes, though, in a few tough games this year. I promise you that. Someone's going to get into foul trouble along the line somewhere.
And actually had some nice quality minutes. Look at that move right there. That's the kind of move that Drew Gooden can. That's his versatility. He can take the ball underneath and post up. He starts at the top of the key that time, faces up, right down the middle of the lane, 3-point shot.
Drew Gooden tonight, 3 for 4. He's got 6 points and 4 rebounds. And as you mentioned, Greg, he has sat out for, well, several minutes. He played 38 minutes against Colorado, and he's played some mega minutes of late. Coach Williams going to try to get him a little bit of rest, I think, if he can. It's 42-17. Morehouse was looking for something offensively, and then just been absolutely impossible to stop the Jayhawks on offense. And another steal. Kirk the other way. Look out. The jam. No, he lays it in.
Remember that dunk he missed a couple weeks back, so he's probably caught a lot of heat for that, but he had that look in his eye.
Well, Cohorn was coming hard, too. He was going to make sure that Kirk did not jam it. Kirk Heinrich now 13 points. Kirk could have a very big night tonight. Lots of time left in this one. 5:50 left still here in the first half.
If this is all that Nebraska has on offense, it's not a whole lot. Basically what they're doing is just dribbling around the perimeter, setting pick and rolls, and if that's all you're going to do, it's fairly easy to defend. You can just step out, show a little bit, and shut it down. I mean, watch Nebraska's offense. They're 30 feet from the basket, dribbling laterally with a couple guys setting picks for you, and unless that's Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, you're not going to get a whole lot of buckets off that.
Take to the bucket, another one just rimming out for Muehlheisen. Huskers have not been very lucky with the rolls. Looking inside, the big Wayne, who goes straight to the basket, and he won't score. Collison, though, will. He taps it in. Thought maybe for just a minute we might get an offensive interference whistle, but didn't happen. Instead, it's another easy 2 for the Jayhawks.
Nick just wanted to pump up his rebounding stats.
He's doing a Drew thing. Drew gets in there, tips his own misses around. 7-0 run for the Hawks. Partially blocked. Cohorn had an opportunity for the rebound and then almost stole it. Kirk Heinrich, though, cut him off, got the ball.
Cohorn was trying to pad his rebounding stats too, but he didn't get it back.
Simeon has it tapped away, heading down into the lane.
Yeah, Wayne, stay in the lane. Don't dribbling the ball around.
Heinrich going to Wayne's side, had Nick Collison, but the pass was a little low.
Good idea, just not the greatest pass in the world. Nick just wanted to get it. Only 2 turnovers, 3 turnovers now on the night for Kansas. Still shooting 65%. Nebraska's only got 6 turnovers, but they're shooting at 28%. Field goal percentage, there we are. Season, they're shooting 40, 29 tonight, 66. I mean, shooting over 50% for the season is impressive. Shooting 66 this deep into one half is even more impressive.
Jayhawks with 5 steals, 6 turnovers for Nebraska, 5 steals for KU. So Nebraska is certainly not just throwing it away. Turek.
Nick letting his guy dribble a little too close to the basket and gets a bailout call that time by the refs, but Nebraska needs a couple breaks.
Coach Collier thinks so, I promise you that.
Got that guy over on the bench that holds up those signs. You seen those?
How thick is that thing? I saw the Missouri game.
They had a sign that said pat the head. It said that. Couldn't they just make that motion to the guy? Hey, pat your head.
It's easy enough. This play it's going to look like this.
Yeah, okay. Bang your chest and make a number 2 sign.
Maybe that's it. We want to pat the head on offense and want to beat the chest on defense. We have cards to read that.
We need to get the camera guys on that. Assistant coach.
Simeon mishandles it inside, taken away. Turek was the one who finally came out with it. Clemens brings it up. Cohorn really hasn't been able to get on track so far tonight. In fact, he hasn't scored. Gary Cohorn, team's leading scorer. Boy, Cohorn ripped that pass right into the chest of Muehlheisen, who had no clue that ball was on the way.
Yeah, that hit him right in the nose. Where's Piakowski at? Don't they usually have a Piakowski on Nebraska? That guy can usually score.
I think they finally ran out of relatives.
Did they run out of brothers? Were they brothers?
Oh, yeah. How many are they related somehow?
Polish rifle.
How many? It's not like Smith. There'll only be so many Piakowskis out there. Drew Gooden doing what he does best, creating, getting his own rebound. 3 times. 3 shots on that trip for Drew Gooden. How do you add those up in the stat book? We'll have to keep an eye on it.
See, that does give you 2 boards, but you shoot 33% there, so I don't know what's good. Bottom line is he followed up and got the bucket.
Yeah, 9.7 boards for Drew, and is that a 31-point lead? Got to get my abacus out to count this thing up.
2 good moves by Turek. He started the game out with that same exact move and hits it again late in the half.
Yeah, Turek just a freshman. We're going to see him for a long time. Look at Aaron Miles stop, then go right back.
Nice hesitation. Kind of dupes his man into thinking he's bringing it back out. Has the strength to take the foul, make the bucket. Aaron Miles is now on the board. Here it is. Just comes down here thinking, see him. Takes the foul. Great move that time. That's all about pushing the ball up. I don't know how many times I can say it. They get the ball up there, good things happen. Every once in a while you get a turnover. Most of the time you get a bucket.
51-19, folks. That is correct. The Subway scoreboard is right on. And Glenn Hoyt with you here. Courtside at Allen Fieldhouse. 3:21 left in this first half. It's 51-19 Jayhawks. Kansas basketball on Channel 6, brought to you by Crown, your tailgate headquarters with the best trucks, Chevrolet, and Toyota. Also by Don Steakhouse, your hometown steakhouse, and by First Star Bank, bank without boundaries. My eyes deceive me every time I look up there, Greg. I just can't believe it's 51-19 with 3:21 left in the first half. Jayhawks have scored over 100. How many times?
4.
How many times have they been held under 80?
2.
How many points does Nebraska's defense give up on average on the road?
Away from the Devaney Center?
That's
73.0.
There you go. How about that? Quick test there. We just went through all those numbers. It's like Greg Gurley was first team academic something.
And I wear a size 15 shoe
and you live
extra long sport coat.
Well, that's why the Jayhawks are shooting 63%, because they're getting looks like that. Nick Collison into double figures now. He's got 11. 3 Jayhawks already in the double digits.
Just picking this Nebraska team apart. They're getting it in so many different ways, whether it be open 3-point shots or easy layups. Let's see if Turek can do that move again.
Turek, the freshman, taking on both Wayne Simeon and Nick Collison. Probably not going to win that one as a freshman too often.
Went to the well.
Look at Aaron Miles through the
legs.
Gets it to Wayne, and Wayne picks up the foul.
Freshman to freshman, that's going to be common. Here's a good move. Aaron Miles dishes to Heinrich. Nick just pins his guy. underneath the basket. He almost doesn't have room to make a 1-foot shot. But that's the way you want to do things. That's the way Coach Williams preaches. Get in position, get them on your back, and the guards will find you.
Wayne Simeon's free throw rattling in and out. Jayhawks were out here early this morning shooting free throws and practicing. I know that was out here doing our preview for the 6 o'clock show. Well, Wayne missed them both. You're not going to see that a whole lot so far this season. Wayne shooting, oh, let me find it here, 69% from the free throw line, almost 70%. So not going to miss too many of those.
The coach has the sign up. They're going to run loop. Let's see if they loop around.
Well, they looped it to Wayne, who gives it up to point guard Drew, who goes behind the back. Gets it to Boshi, who is blocked by, I believe, Buckendahl.
I think he was blocked by the pad under the backboard. How about Wayne Simeon, Drew Gooden running the break, and Jeff Boshi finishing? Kind of.
Maybe that's why it didn't work.
Yeah.
John Robinson connects on the bomb. It's 53-22. Wayne was blocked.
Ooh, nice block that time. Who was that? Bayakowski?
Was that Buckendahl?
Buckendahl.
At 6'5", the senior gets the block. That's got to be over the back. That's Buckendahl. He's got some ups. A guy, interesting story.
Oh. Who they got?
Yeah, it's on Buckendahl.
Okay. Oh, it's 23 also. I thought they called that on Wayne Simeon, but that was a great block. Wayne Simeon beats his guy down the floor, and Buckendahl says, we'll have none of that.
And that puts the Jayhawks into the bonus, so we'll shoot free throws.
Mission South.
Who is from Shawnee Mission South? Who is the most famous alumni? The Raider.
Clint Johnson. He has the shot put record. South, when is that? Friday the 11th.
When was the last time you went there?
I go to games a couple times a year.
Yeah. Complimentary admission? They charge you double.
Yeah, double. Because it's like the math teacher that takes the tickets.
Yeah.
And he's like, I hated you. You're an idiot. You weren't very good at math.
Oh, wait, so he makes up for the 2 misses earlier by making 2 here, and it's 55-22.
So that game's in Lawrence?
Yes, sir, Bob. Or Greg.
Be in Vegas.
Sounds like a fun trip.
Watch the KU-UCLA game. Not live, obviously. As long as I corrected myself there. We might have a lot of fill when you're doing this game by the looks of a 33-point halftime lead.
Could be bad. Robinson misfires. Brett Ballard into the game. Of course, that game of the week you can see on Friday and Saturday replayed last night. Good game. LHS actually had 8 3-pointers in a row. Kind of like the start of this game at one point. Drew Good, quick trick, and he drains it.
He hadn't shot the ball in a while. I said, hey, I'm averaging 22 points a game.
Gets him to double figures.
He's in the double figures already. Almost has a double-double in the first half. 11 points, 8 boards.
Just another night at the office.
Another night. 5 for 8 from the field.
When you average 21 and 12, 11 and 8, that's about the average for a half anyway, isn't it?
Aaron Miles yelling at the guys to run with him. And
nobody did, so he shot it.
Yeah. If he ain't going to run with me, I'm jacking. Quick half, huh?
It's gone by very quickly. Not many fouls. 7 and 4. Oh, great move there. Drew Gilheisen, that's a freshman from Lincoln, Nebraska, averaging 12 a game, and he's got 4 in the first half, but that was a pretty move on the baseline. Unfortunately, it cuts the Jayhawk lead to 33. It's 57-24. Hawks will take the last shot. Keith Langford will create in the lane. The lefty, no. Won't quite fall in, and that should do it for the end of the first half, where it was absolutely, positively all Jayhawks. 57-24 as we go to the break on your Subway scoreboard. We'll take a timeout when we come back. Halftime stats and a couple of highlights like this one from Drew Good. At 30%, let's show you some of the action from half numero uno as we close in on getting ready here to start the second half. And great start, Greg. Hot shooting and nice rolls. Jeff Boshi with the long jumper, and then more to come from the Jayhawks.
Started out 7 for 7 from the 3-point line, and you got moves like this by Drew Gooden. Wayne Simeon gets the ball 15 feet from the basket, And if you can make a shot like that, that's a difficult shot, in which Wayne made look easy. Here's Aaron Miles, nice move on the baseline, turned into a three-point play. I think we had 7 3-pointers on the half, 6 3-pointers on the half, 3 or 4 3-point plays, just the old-fashioned way. 2 for 12 for Nebraska from behind the arc, 30% to 59%, big discrepancy there. Out rebounding them, more turnovers, everything is in Kansas' favor. There's no more telling stats than all these right here. I mean, they're just, every facet of the game, they're getting beat and beat bad.
Hard to believe the Jayhawks committed just 4 turnovers in that 4-half. You know, Nebraska just committed 8. That's not really that big a number, but Kerry Cohorn unable to find the mark from the outside. In fact, Nebraska's leading scorer is 0 for 3 in the game. He doesn't have a point yet. And not that would have made a huge difference in this game. Bottom line is Nebraska's got to start playing some defense.
Yeah, they do. I mean, Kansas is getting any shot they want. They can pound the ball. If they've missed a couple threes in a row, Coach Williams tells it to pound underneath. They could have scored 70 points this half if they threw the ball underneath all the time. But, you know, that's just the way things go when you're in a hostile environment. And Kansas just, here it is. It's the leading scorer, Cochran, at 14.5, 0 tonight. Heinrich right at his average. Drew Gooden's almost got a double-double in the first half. So we'll see if Nebraska can weather this a little bit. Kansas still comes out, and a few trapping defenses later, air ball, Drew Gooden picks up the rebound.
Yeah, Drew he didn't want to touch it at first, but then you realize, you know, do I get a rebound stat for this? I don't know, do you, if it hits the floor? Sure. He's got 11 and 9 now.
How about that? Nick Collison was running out of bounds, just kind of threw it up. This is a weird possession.
17 on the shot clock. Kirk Heinrich kicks it back out. Won't be weird if the Jayhawks score an easy one.
Yeah.
Heinrich from about 17. That one's way short. Rebound falls into the arms of Ross Buckendahl. Mentioned Buckendahl, interesting story. Red shirt his senior season a year ago. He's a senior now. Medical red shirt, of course.
Right.
He got hurt and had an ACL surgery. And he's back this year to finish off that senior season.
There's your double-double. Drew Gooden gets it early.
Blocking foul at the other end on Cohorn. And Kirk Heinrich will shoot free throws. Heinrich's got 13 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. Asked him what his New Year's resolution was, and he said, you know, I haven't told anybody this, but I really want to get that triple-double sometime this season.
That'd be nice.
Tonight, not saying it's going to happen, but 13, 7, and 3. He's well on his way.
Well, the beauty of what happened right there was the fact that Kirk Heinrich was able to leak out a little bit. When you got Gooden and Collison underneath getting every single rebound, you can start to cheat a little bit and get out there. Drew Gooden gets the ball, makes a nice pass up ahead, and Kirk Heinrich turns it into a foul.
And at the other end, Drew allowed Jake Muehlheisen to get past him. And the freshman from Lincoln will shoot a couple of free throws. Now, what do you talk about in the locker room if you're the Jayhawks at halftime? Greg, you got a 33-point lead. Nebraska can double its output from the first half and you still win without scoring.
Coach,
how do you keep your concentration?
Coach Williams is big on winning halves, and this is a whole new game for them. Look at it as a 0-0. You never want to put into a kid's mind that, yeah, you've already won this game. You know, they just can't afford a letdown. I mean, crazier things have happened. Not that it's going to happen tonight, but you know, you just got to go out there and continually do what you were doing and build that lead out. And you know, there's a veteran team, 3 juniors and a senior starting. You know, so these guys know what to do. You don't have to say a whole lot. Depends on the kind of team you got about how much you got to say, really.
Buckendahl in the lane, kicks it back out. Muehlheisen for 3. Nope, goes over the top of the backboard. Jayhawks will get it.
Now the other end of it, you got to wonder what Barry Collier said in his locker room. All right, we're down 33 at the toughest place in America to play. How are we going to respond? Are we going to come out there and give up and get beat by 66? Or are we going to come out there? He's looking at as a 2-half game. He knows he's not going to win this ball game. He knows he's got to go out there and try to win this half to give his kids something positive to look at in the future.
Brendan Clemens gets a steal. Buckendahl wants 3. Nope, he misfires. And so far, nobody's been able to score. Stuck on 57-24.
A little different second half than it was first half.
Drew, back to Nick. Back to Drew, always moving in and out. Collison had it for just a minute. Cohorn comes away with it.
2.5 minutes, no scoring. What is up?
No, Cohorn had a rough
first half at Missouri, too. He came out in the second half, and he knocked a couple threes down in a hurry. He's been unable to get any off here in the second half. Tough shot in the lane, missing from Clemens. Rebounded by Buckendahl, and get it out of here from Nick Collison after or before a whistle.
All that goes on underneath, get a little touch foul out front, but Nick Collison was just salivating, waiting for that. He's like, come on in here, come on in here. Get it out of here.
Ooh.
Nick Collison's just so fundamentally sound, and he probably hates hearing that, but he is. I mean, he just does things game in and game out. That great defense again by Aaron Miles. Just challenge every passing lane, get a hand on it, and get the possession.
Some more playbacks here on Channel 6. We do our first high school men's basketball game of the season. This coming Monday, you can see the replay at 10:30 right here on Channel 6. 57-24. Somebody scored. Jeff Boshi. Nope. Drew Gooden fighting hard for the rebound. Boshi will get it back. Uh-oh. Kirk was open. He's more open now. That one's short. Everybody's feeling a little bit cold, I think, here in the opening minutes of the second half. 16:52 left in the game, and nobody's scored in the second half. I was just joking when I said if the Jayhawks didn't score again, they might win.
Yeah.
I didn't really mean that. I didn't want to find out.
Drew Gooden's going to go to the line after two great offensive rebounds by Nick Collison. Great post feed. And it's right there. That's a little tiny thing right there. But Drew Gooden got the pass above his head, kept the ball above his head, and got a foul. A lot of times you see big guys get that ball, take a couple dribbles, or bring it down around their knees to where a guy like Cohorn and Sims and those guys can swipe it away. Great fundamental basketball by Drew. Gets the ball, keeps it above his head, and gets rewarded. Most in the Roy Williams era in a two-game stretch, which is, there's been some pretty darn good players here. Guys that can really score, like a guy like Paul Pierce or someone. But 57 points in 2 games, a lot of points.
Fouls on Drew Gooden away from the basketball, trying to post up. Going to get called for the shove. It is Drew's second foul in this game. 12 points, 11 rebounds. Nick Collison, 11 points, 9 rebounds. 13 and 7 assists for Kirk Heinrich. Jeff Boshi in double figures with 10.
Now, we might be seeing a little bit of a letdown, or I don't know whether it's what it is, but 1 point in 4 minutes and a couple turnovers and a couple silly fouls. And
how about the freshman there, John Turek, taking on Nick Collison and winning the battle, and we have points.
I almost said this a minute ago when a couple turnovers. I thought this is the kind of situation where Coach Williams will send 5 new guys in, and he done just that.
Drew Gooden lost it out of bounds, saved it, but he threw it right to Cohorn. Eisen, yep, and 1. And 5 new players will check in for the Jayhawks. Coach not real happy with the opening 4 minutes of half number 2 from the starters.
I can't tell you how here, let's go back to replay, but Muleheisen gets it up court. Nice finish, takes the foul, and 5 new Jayhawks come in, and it's very frustrating when you are those 5 guys on the floor and everything goes right for you in one half. Nothing goes right for you in this half. Coach Williams takes his glasses off, kneels down. He wants all 5 guys together, and he's not screaming and yelling and just throwing stuff. He's just telling them, hey, come on. You guys are up 33 at half. You got that way by doing sound things, not turning the ball over. Now go out there. I'm not going to keep you on the bench long. We're going to get a couple minutes for these guys, wake you guys up a little bit. You're better than this. Just go out there and prove it.
And Barry Collier's team winning this half 5-0 right now. Michael Lee, Brett Ballard. That's for 3, and right away, no, toe on the line. It's not 3, it's 2. Didn't take long for the backups to get in there and get on the board.
Brett Ballard comes in there, really did a good job last year in some critical games, hitting threes, and did it again tonight. It's gets KU's first field goal of the second half.
Jeff Carey almost got a hand on. Look at Brett Ballard. Scores and gets a rebound. Then he's going to wait for the rest of his team. Nebraska did a nice job in transition getting back on D.
And good decision by Brett Ballard in not forcing the ball. He did not have the numbers. Pulls it out. Maybe he's going to shoot again. Yep.
Ballard from the same spot. A little short. Wayne, the one-handed board. I think he got fouled in there. Turek was hanging on him, but no whistle.
You'd like to see him grab with 2 hands, but Nebraska was holding his hand.
60-29, 15-10 left. Jayhawks all over the Huskers. 60-29 here, second half at Allen Fieldhouse. Jayhawks in control. Kevin Romery, Greg Gurley with you courtside at Allen Fieldhouse. Kansas basketball on Channel 6 is brought to you by University National Bank, the bank of the future. By KC Bobcat, the compact equipment specialist. By Jim Clark Motors, your guaranteed low price dealer in Lawrence. Jim Clark Motors in the Lawrence Auto Plaza. And by Poland Dobbins, when the health of your eyes and when image and selection are important, visit Dr. Pohl and Dobbins. My eyes see the scoreboard. It's really clear. Jayhawks by a whole lot. 60-29. And the second five still in the game. Wayne Simeon, Michael Lee, Jeff Carey, Keith Langford, and Brett Ballard. Who's Scott Ballard?
Scott Ballard?
I don't know. It's not a Jayhawk. I don't know why I almost said that. Brett Ballard, back door. Wayne Simeon with the jam. That one, a perfect pass from Brett Ballard.
Called play out of the timeout, baseline out of bounds. We've seen it before, we've seen it again. You'd think the teams would scout it and figure it out, but that little back pick will get a dunk 4 or 5 times a year.
Got to run that play more often.
Oh, wow.
Nebraska, that was not even close. It's going to go out of bounds, and the Jayhawks are going to get it back. That is turnover number 10. On Nebraska.
The refs all looked at each other. Here's the back door. Nice back pick that time by Keith Langford.
There's nobody under there.
Keith Langford throws the ball in, comes in, sets the back pick, and makes it look pretty easy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
4 points so far for the second five. Come in there and make it 6.
Wayne Simeon couldn't get it to go. Ball is tipped around, and Keith Langford fights for it and wins.
Great hustle that time by Keith Langford.
Lee for 3.
Michael Lee, first 3-point bucket of his collegiate career in the Big 12. Comes in, big game like this, hits a 3, got to do worlds of good for his confidence. He's just kind of stuck where, you know, he's got 3 guys in front of him that play a lot of minutes, and Michael Lee's a great player. He's just not getting the time right now. But you watch, he's going to be a great player here.
Sims partially blocked by Wayne, and who's going to get the foul?
Here it is, Michael Lee just kind of hanging out. Brett Ballard does a good job of faking a shot, leaving Michael Lee a wide open 3. And he can shoot the ball. There's a lot of guys on this team that can shoot the ball. Wholesale substitutions, the starting 5 is going to come back in. But hopefully this crowd will give that second 5 a big round of applause because they did a great job.
Yeah, a 6-0 run since those guys came into the game.
A standing ovation. How about that?
A 6-0 run from those guys.
Yeah, the starters in there for 4 minutes, score 1 point. Second 5 comes in, 6-0 run. That's big.
Free throw will rattle around and back in for Sims. Got the nice roll. As soon as the starters get back in there, Nebraska scores again.
Yeah.
Missed the free throw with the team 2 out there. Aaron Miles bouncing it into Drew Gooden. That's automatic. Everybody seems back on track. Roy Williams jumps up and points right at his freshman and says, "That's the pass I wanted. You got it there."
Yeah, you can't call him a freshman anymore. He plays so smart, plays such good defense. He ran that play perfectly, waited. Drew Gooden got open. Perfect post feed, easy basket.
Nebraska finding nobody open underneath. How about the headband? I have to ask him that today. When did he start going with the headband? He didn't have that early in the season, did he?
It's been a couple games ago.
It's been a few, but didn't know if that was going to be a permanent thing or not.
Well, he's played pretty good with it on. He's got the little, is that the Jumpman logo, the Michael Jordan?
That's your picture from high school?
Yeah.
Your silhouette?
Yeah. Nick Collison puts the ball on the floor, beats his guy. Almost got a dunk, but Barry Collier was just sitting over there scratching his head like, what do we got to do? We got Kirk Heinrich hitting 3s. We got Drew Gooden driving to the bucket, getting 3-point plays. We're throwing the ball away. I got my assistant coach putting signs up that say pat the head.
Maybe we ought to just maybe pay attention to that. So look at the books they're holding.
I know they got like
they look like encyclopedias.
It's huge.
It's like those travel guys.
Dictionary he's got on the bench with him.
If the Jayhawks are struggling anywhere tonight, it's at the line. 6 of 11, I do believe now. And this will be an easy deuce for Nebraska. Jake Muehlheisen lays it in. He's got 9. Gooden at the other end is blocked. I think Turek got a hand on it. Hawks, though, get it back. Everything's going the Hawks' way. Until that, Aaron Miles.
How about that?
The backward 3. And Jay gets an assist for it anyway.
I guess you're right. Everything is going their way. Slipped out of his hand. That was a funky play. Drew Gooden gets his dunk blocked. Coach Williams yells at him for not staying in the play.
What a bizarre possession, man.
You know, we talk about training film, a lot, where that will not be on the training tape.
Well, it depends on which one.
Right. Bad training tape. Well, he made the shot, so I guess that's good. Here it is. Aaron Miles goes up. Aaron gets it back, gets it to Jeff Boshi.
Jeff looks at him and says, Aaron, what's the deal? Ball's not slick.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem.
What are you worried about, buddy?
What is that? That's Jeff's third three, so we're 5 away. So the next home game, when KU returns after a tough road trip, Jeff will be the all-time three-point shooting leader.
That one won't count. It's on the floor.
Just surpassing Billy Thomas.
Yes.
I always get those names mixed up. Billy Thomas, Greg Gurley,
All those names up there at the top.
I'll take any of them on right now, any amount of money they want to shoot for.
I think they'd be happy to do that.
Really? You want in some of that, buddy?
No. I said they. I thought you meant anybody, like on the team?
Oh, yeah, on the team. I'll beat them. I'm just a fat guy now that can shoot from the outside. I don't have to play defense. I don't have to do anything.
I'll take Jeff.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk about it later.
Nick Collison and one.
How about that? Same play from before, baseline out of bounds. A little slower developing that time, but, they're just sitting there going, well, should I pass it? Pass it. Here it is. Aaron Miles, nice pass that time.
Great catch.
Nick Collison, great catch. Saves a turnover, gets a bucket, and the foul.
And Nick Collison's numbers continue to escalate. 13 points. Just 1 for 3 from the line. Missed his last 2. Got 9 rebounds. Makes that one. He's got 14 and 9. Drew's got 14 and 11.
A little 1-2 punch that is like no other in the country. That was right in our ear. I think they got Kirk with the little. There's Thomas. Is that? Yeah. Fresh back from the Rose Bowl.
Wilson Thomas, the junior from Omaha, Nebraska.
Big guy, obviously very athletic. Heck of a football player. I was at that Rose Bowl game, and he didn't get a lot of opportunities, though, to do much.
Really saw a lot of Hurricanes running right by him.
Yeah.
Aaron Miles getting after it on defense, trying to tip it away from Kendrick Ford, a senior from Macon, Georgia. Lots of new names and faces in this game. We'll try to pass them along as they get in there. Muehlheisen, nope. Rebounded by the Jayhawks. Lost by Dan Hymos had it. Good, no. He got a little bit ahead of himself. Nick feeling it. Nope, maybe not. He wanted it early, too.
Nick struggles with that move, too, because he's had a lot of walking violations when he gets the ball at the top of the key. But
picks that foot up. Drew Gooden in the lane, staying after it. No, boy, it wanted to go in.
About 5 guys fouled him that time. But, yeah, Nick gets that ball on top, and he fakes the shot and tries to drive and takes about 4 steps and then dribbles. Sometimes it's an anticipation call by the rest, but here's the triple team. Drew Gooden goes up and takes the foul, and he's just frustrated. Could have dumped it down to Nick, but smart play that time by throwing it towards the basket after he felt the foul.
Drew steps to the line, 3 of 4 tonight. It's really quiet in here. I feel bad talking.
You just dropped a pen.
I know. Guy behind me started hitting me with his shoe. 75-32. All Jayhawks. Back at Allen Fieldhouse, where Nebraska Cornhusker fans must feel like the Rose Bowl is spilling over. It's 75-32. Kevin Romery, Greg Gurley with you. Kansas basketball on Channel 6, brought to you by Emprise Bank. We understand the daily business of life. By Mad Creek, taste the Mediterranean, taste the Mad Creek. By New Physical Therapy, helping people help themselves. And by Aaronsburg Shoes. Aaronsburg's providing the best in footwear for students, alumni, and all of Lawrence for over 40 years. 75-32. In your wildest dreams, Greg, would you have ever guessed this with roughly 11:26 to go?
Well, I kind of expected a fairly large margin of victory, but not this large. But, it's a couple of the fact Kansas has just played a perfect game for the most part, and Nebraska just hasn't. And they're Kansas is more talented, deeper, bigger, the whole deal. And, it's a tough place to play. It might be a little different when they go up there, but this is a rebuilding type of year, and
Kansas women's basketball here on Channel 6, taking on Colorado in another week. That's a week from tonight, as a matter of fact. Ladies off to a tough start. In fact, our last score that we got from Waco, Texas, a tough one. Baylor was leading that one. And then the Jayhawks taking on Oklahoma. Boy, that should be a fun one, Greg. Oklahoma playing awfully good.
Yeah. What are they? They 5th in the country, is that right?
Number 5.
Wow.
And then Oklahoma State's number 6. Sims blows an easy one.
Oh.
Drew's going to get the foul, and I don't think Drew liked that call a lot.
He tried to get out of the way. I don't know what. I'd like to see that one again.
Jayhawks leading this one by 43. If you're wondering about the largest margin of victory between these two teams here in Lawrence, it's 56. Believe it or not, back in 1957 and 58, the Jayhawks won 102 to 46.
Wow.
And you know what? We're on pace for a real similar score, especially if this
56.
continues.
Okay, who would have been on that team? Uh-oh. Maryland won by a lot.
33.
Matt Doherty has seen some better days, but
We'll see better ones in the future.
If anyone can, I mean, it's not a rebuilding job because North Carolina, I mean, it's just one of those deals. Bad season in a very difficult conference.
A couple guys left early. Joseph Forte left. A couple guys of that caliber, first-team All-Americans leaving as sophomores. It's tough. Now the Hawks a little bit sloppy with the basketball. Turnover number 9.
Okay, you think about that team. Peppers and Ronald Curry don't come back after the football season. Haywood's a senior. Forte leaves early. There's 4 big-time players right there. So, better days ahead.
Nebraska's hoping better minutes are ahead here in the final. 10:42. Muehlheisen trying to find an open shot, but Aaron Miles won't give it to him.
Wow.
Wilson Thomas using a little football move there, and he has it swatted out of bounds.
It's a big tight end right there. He's what is he, about 6'6", 6'7". He's got a body on him. He's just probably at the wrong school to be a tight end, though. Don't get the ball.
Tracy Wistrom's probably going to get most of those too. Get that out of here. Sims shot blocked by Collison, and Heinrich with a rebound
over Wilson Thomas. How about that?
Tell you what, Kirk Heinrich getting a little bit closer to that triple-double. Jeff Oshie open in the corner.
4th three-pointer of the night. Great push by Aaron Miles. He almost dumped it to Collison running down the middle of the floor. He sees his little guard teammate in the corner. Gift three-pointer.
After another Nebraska miss, Hawks want to run. Heinrich spinning high. He was setting up the spin move, and Muehlheisen saw it coming.
He watched some tape. He's seen Heinrich do the little spin.
Oh, he was going to try his own, but he dribbled it off his foot. Now Kirk may go the distance. Oh, great pass. Drew. Hopefully he won't get hurt on one of those.
Wow. Look at Coach Williams
He
just
loves
giving
Aaron Miles' effort.
He likes Drew Gooden's effort, but he likes Aaron Miles better. Aaron Miles not only dives for the ball, but gets it ahead to Heinrich, starts the fast break. Great hustle, great intelligence. Drew Gooden, Wilson Thomas said, I am not going to get embarrassed again.
78-33.
Good, clean, hard foul. Nothing flagrant about it. He goes after the ball. Nice body in there. And because Drew Gooden was about to rip that goal down because he took off outside the lane. Drew Gooden and Nick Collison both with double-doubles, but can't make any free throws.
Aaron Miles with 11 assists now. Just 3 points. He's only attempted 3 shots, but 11 assists. Well, there's a nice tip in from the tight end. Thomas gets a finger on it. That's his first 2 of the year. Miss from the Jayhawks and a rebound from Kedrick Ford. Under 10 minutes now in the game. 9:15 at Allen Fieldhouse. Actually not much in doubt here. Hawks lead at 78-35. It's a 43-point game. Muehlheisen for 3. He shot several and still misfiring. He's 0 for 6 from downtown. Oshie. Heinrich online. A little long. It was look good to us, didn't it?
It did look right online, but a little long.
Well, Mitch and Kirk really said he wanted that triple-double. He's got 13, 7, and 6.
He's going to have to hurry with 8:40 to go.
Yeah, because he's probably not going to play a whole lot in the last 5 minutes. Coach Williams is going to get some good minutes for some of the guys that don't play a whole lot. Good defense. Nick Collison steps in, takes a charge. And if you want Coach Williams to get off the bench and applaud you, good start is taking a charge.
Nebraska shooting 27%, 14 of 51 from the field and 2 of 17 behind the three-point arc. And Kerry Cohorn has 0, the team's leading scorer.
They just put up the sign for the circle slip play.
You know what the circle means? It means circle the wagons. We're going
circle
home.
the wagons.
It's over.
Slipping out of here. He's got a big sign that says the circle slip on it.
I don't know. Make about a 28 on your ACT just to be a player in Nebraska, because you got to memorize about 800 pages of charts and graphs.
I'd like to see. I'd like the ESPN guys to film that. Can you get in contact with them? Say, film those 2 coaches over there with the Webster's Dictionary in their lap.
Tough move inside. Turek tips it in. John Turek. This is a guy we're going to see for a long time, Greg. The freshman has played well tonight. He's got 8 points, and when you figure who he's battling and the fact that he's only a freshman.
He's a big guy that can move around a little bit, and done some nice things. Made a couple nice moves, but it's definitely a tough situation to go against Goodman and Collison all night.
Miles, too strong. 3 Jayhawks could have grabbed that rebound.
5th three-pointer.
Oh, she a little off. Jeff tonight 4 of 8 from behind the arc, and Wayne Simeon has it knocked away on the inside. Timeout on the floor. 7:38 left in the game. It's over, folks. We're just going to come back and wrap things up. Jayhawks lead it 78-37. 78-37 here on Channel 6 at Allen Fieldhouse. Jayhawks destroying Nebraska here tonight. Kansas basketball on Channel 6, brought to you by People's Bank. Banking unusual, member FDIC. By JB Stouts, voted the #1 sports bar in Lawrence. By Morisco's, Lawrence's brand new Southwest Seafood Restaurant. And by Domino's Pizza. Get the door, Domino's Delivery. Glenn, how was that pizza? Good?
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Glommed it all for himself.
Asked for 1 piece at halftime. 1 piece at halftime. It's all I wanted. That's it.
And instead we got a bottle of water.
Yeah, instead I get a Dasani and an empty box. Scrape the cheese off the bottom. Aaron Miles in double figures as assists go. Wayne Simeon. And it's the right shoulder. He's holding it. We'll see how hurt he is.
It's the second dunk block he's had tonight.
Maybe it's just a little scar tissue and he's taking a bang on it. Hopefully didn't re-injure the shoulder.
Coach Williams is up.
Coach Williams is yelling Wayne's name.
He doesn't look all right. He's still holding it.
He's going to call it.
Coach Williams is going to ask to make sure there's a Missouri score. Losing by 1 at Iowa State. Still, no matter how good or bad Iowa State is, that's still one of the toughest places to play. And Coach Williams talking to the official saying that we'll find out right here if he's okay. And how about that?
Maybe it was a little scar tissue and just a little bit of a stinger.
Here it is. Goes up strong. Oh, yeah.
It just actually bent his arm back. I don't know if it really, I thought somebody may have come down hard on it, but I think maybe just the angle just kind of stretched it out. He probably hadn't had it stretched out like that too much since the surgery, so that's going to happen every once in a while.
He's flexing a little bit here, and he knows the history. Everyone, he's hurt his shoulder a couple times, hurt his knee now, and he's kind of put a fragile type tag on him, but this guy is not fragile. He plays as hard and as strong as anyone out here on the floor. And there's a difference between injuries and just being hurt. And he had some serious injuries. I mean, he couldn't play with what he had, and he's really come back here and shown that he's a tough kid. And hitting those 2 free throws shows even more toughness.
Wayne's got 8 points and 7 rebounds. Now we mentioned Aaron Miles has 11 assists, folks. That is a new career high. 9 was the previous. Wayne showing you he's okay. Looks all right to me.
How about that? He just goes down there, says, give me the ball. I'm going to score. I'm not hurt. Just great. Gets his body up against Turek. Freshman on freshman. Takes the foul. Strong enough to get it in. And
freshman with the bigger body won that one.
Yeah.
Turek, 6'9", 230. Yeah, doesn't look quite as strong as Wayne.
Simeon up at double digits again, 10.7 boards at his average. So he's probably going to play the rest of the game. I don't know if we'll see Drew Gooden and Nick Collison again, maybe for a couple minutes.
Now Wayne playing a little D, and he gets another rebound. Boy, I tell you what, we may have 3 players with double-doubles. Wayne now has 8 rebounds. He's 2 away from a double-double. My guess is he's going to get several minutes here in the last 6:50.
Watching Wayne run down the floor that time, he was kind of holding his right arm to his body, which, you know, sometimes you favor that when you're a little injured. Look at Wayne.
Look at Keith Langford above everybody.
Follow your shot. Gets the ball back, puts it in. Great offensive move. Great offensive rebound. Just out-jumped everybody. Again, Barry College just got to be like, what do I got to do? These are the backups.
Aaron Miles, no. I don't think he wanted to shoot that one. Kind of had a weird angle at the goal and tried to take it off the glass instead of whistle on carry.
Well, I guess we are going to see Drew and Nick and Jeff coming back in probably for a couple minutes to get under that 4-minute timeout and come back in with the second team. You see a stat, though. That second team of, you know, what is it we got here? You got Simeon with 10. Langford's got 7.
Ballard with 2.
Well, okay.
Michael Lee with 3.
They've definitely contributed.
Got 22 off the bench from those guys.
And not a whole lot of minutes.
5 Jayhawks in double figures scoring. Drew Gooden just getting to his average. That's 12 rebounds. And, well, he threw that one away. Coach Williams clapping, but yeah, that was a...
He said, yeah, my fault.
Yeah.
We know that.
We're up by, yeah, now you got careless. Sorry. It's a 47-point game, and dope. That'll happen. Kerry Cohorn, folks, still has not scored. He's only taken 3 shots. Are you kidding me?
He hasn't played much this half either.
Nebraska's leading scorer. 0 for 3. Guy's a sharpshooting gunner. He's not connected tonight.
Well, his sharpshooting helps a lot when you have a surrounding cast that can score some points too. That opens things up. And tonight, it just didn't happen.
Great take there from Clemens. Brendan Clemens averages 9 a game. He's got 7. Collison posting up. Fouled by Turek. Freshman had no chance on that one.
No.
Nick Collison showing him how to get position on the inside.
They seriously are just picking this team apart. They can get any shot they want to get on every possession. And if you can do that, and you know, against a team like this, yes. Against a better team, it's going to be more difficult. So you don't want to get into a groove where this is just so easy that I can get my shot off any time. So Nick Collison, Gooden, and Simeon, they're all continually working to get a good shot, and that'll pay off in the bigger games.
Collison missing the second one. Jayhawks just 12 of 21 from the free throw line, 57%. Imagine if the Hawks were shooting free throws at about an 80% clip. Another nice take from Clemens. That's back-to-back lay-ins, and he's done it the tough way. Drew thinking about it. You know, Collison did that earlier. Langford and the Collison. Oh, Turek, no chance. He's got no chance under there.
Yeah, well, he's got 4 fouls also. He can't do a whole lot. He's just, you know, do I foul him and get out of the game, or do I let him go? And here's going to be probably the last possession for the guys on the floor right now. And there's a triple dribble that time by Turek, not called, but took it right at Nick Collison and finished. It's Sims.
Robinson. He's got 9 now. Langford 2 open. Langford a little too strong. Didn't get a whistle. A little bit surprised. Nick, how many rebounds did he get on that one?
He didn't even jump. No one else on Nebraska even tried to get that board. Nick Collison just taller.
17 and 12 for Nick. Make it 13. They gave him another one on that one.
Like a 3-point play.
Robinson looking for back-to-back buckets, and he's got it.
Nebraska scored on like their last 4 or 5 possessions, but it's really not going to put much of a dent in it when you trade baskets at this point. Drew's going to get up at 3.
Too strong, long rebound to Langford with a great pass to Collison.
Nick's just tired. He keeps getting the ball underneath. He's like, I want to do something else besides just an easy layup. Challenge him.
You know, Nick 3 for 6 from the free throw line. He's missed 3. Wayne's missed 3. Drew's missed 3.
Drew hits a 3. He hit a 3 in the Colorado game. Hit 1 in. Where else did he hit 1? hit a couple threes this year, which is something he can do, not necessarily something he needs to do on this team with the three-guard offense. You know, you want to pound underneath, but if it's there, Coach Williams will take it as long as it's not much of a force.
He hit one against Valpo and then one against Colorado.
Right.
On the season, 2 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that one 2 of 7. Nick still having some trouble. That one rattles in and out.
Jeff Carey just can't get in the game. He's been sitting over there, and Collison misses a free throw. Collison just wanted some more minutes. He didn't want to come out yet.
Well, he's working on 20 and 13. He's putting up Drew Gooden type of numbers right now. Collison, of course, his career high in rebounds is 19. You know, his high point game this season is 22, and he's got 20 now, so 2 away from that. His career is 26 against Colorado last year. And the Jayhawks averaging 92 points a game. Probably going to smoke past that number with plenty of time left. Maybe even add to that #1 scoring offense in the country.
#1 scoring offense in the country and still shooting 51% from the field. Typically when you see teams that score a whole lot of points, they don't shoot over 50%.
And if it wasn't for the Jayhawks' lousy 2-point percentage, they'd be doing better than that, because from 3-point land, they're shooting 53%. And Simeon posting up on the inside. It's knocked away from Thomas, or by Thomas, and we've got our last timeout. 3:51 left in this one. If you're still with us, folks, you're staying up late, but it's a fun one. It's all Jayhawks. Kansas basketball on Channel 6, brought to you in part by Crown, your tailgate headquarters with the best trucks, Chevrolet and Toyota. By Don Steakhouse, your hometown steakhouse, and by First Star Bank, bank without boundaries. No boundary on the scoring in this one. It's 90-48 right now. The Jayhawks lead it by 42. Probably won't be the biggest win ever over Nebraska, which is 56 here at Allen Fieldhouse. But it's going to be up there. Next Jayhawk game, week from Saturday, 5th-ranked Oklahoma comes to town, fresh off a victory at UConn on Big Monday.
In the interim between there, after this game, we got at UCLA and at Oklahoma State, so it'll be a nice run for Kansas. They're going to have to play 2 tough road games, come back and play right now the #5 ranked team in the country, Oklahoma Sooners. Then you got at Iowa State and at A&M. Then you got the beloved Tigers coming to Allen Fieldhouse on January 28th. Tigers playing at Iowa State tonight. They're down 1 late in the second half. Don't know what. It's probably about over. What's your guess? Tigers win or they lose?
They'll pull it out.
Pull it out.
Yeah.
Some timely 3-point shooting.
Yeah, something weird. Clarence Gilbert will bank one in off the corner of the window.
Yeah.
Sneak it in. One of those. That's the stuff that Mizzou always pulls against us.
They really do.
Yeah.
They always play their good. I mean, at Missouri is the worst too, because they always just shoot about 90% from the field.
I've been there for a couple of those games. It drives me nuts.
It's tough. It's a tough place to play. Fans are brutal.
Well, they won't have that place forever. They're working on a new arena. Well, Coach Williams gets out of the way so Brian Nash can throw it in. Miles looking for another assist. Brian Nash coming off the pick. Had an open look. Still trying to get it inside. Look at Aaron Miles, still trying to get it to open players. He was plenty open to pull the trigger there, and rightfully so.
I wonder how confident Coach Williams feels with Aaron Miles running the point for the next 4 years. I mean, you got to choose between Kirk Heinrich and Aaron Miles. It's pretty good problem to have.
Robinson with the steal. He sidesteps the ref, scores, and he's fouled. That's a great possession for John Robinson. That gets him to 14 in the game. What a move on the sideline.
Almost ran out of bounds. Wayne Simeon hustles back, and well, at least he turned the ball over and he hustled back. It looks like he took about 4 steps out of bounds, but it's kind of hard for the ref to see it when he's behind you.
Aaron Miles checks out, a career high 12 assists in this one. Just 1 of 5 from the field, scores 3 points, but 12 assists for the freshman.
Wilson Thomas got caught that time. Just pushed Wayne Simeon under the basket and tried to get away with it. It's a good effort. Uh-oh, Missouri down by 7.
Told you Iowa State was going to win that.
He did. Bobby
That's a big game. You know, that alters a lot of things in the Big 12.
What does? Missouri losing?
Yeah. Well, Missouri, I tell you what, they're kind of a brittle team right now. Losers of 3 of 4. You go on the road and take on an Iowa State team that's down this year.
Yeah.
You lose up there. I know Hilton's a tough place to play regardless, but that's not that Iowa State team that's defending its Big 12 back-to-back titles isn't the same one that won those 2.
Right. It's something that Quinn Snyder's going to have to address because they have really no inside presence, and it's just like in football. If you don't have a running game, you're not going to have much of a passing game, and Missouri still tries to jack up threes all game, and it's a little easier to guard someone when you know they're only going to shoot a 3 and not throw it inside.
Wayne Simeon, if he can get it, can't. Would have been another double-double. Wayne needs 1 rebound for a double-double. That'll be 3 Jayhawks in this game.
And he's probably not. He's probably coming out of the game. Todd Kappelman's going to get some minutes here. They give him a rebound?
Didn't give it to him. 12 points, 9 boards.
Just a number.
Just a number. Ryan Nash missing the free throw.
Well, they'll probably take a really good look at Wayne's shoulder after the game tonight just to make sure everything looks fine. But, you know, with as much trouble as he's had with that shoulder, it'd be a good idea to double and triple check that shoulder, make sure everything's good, because he's going to be much needed in LA this weekend, and tough place to play. Stillwater with the Cowboys.
Probably be a little sore tomorrow. Said it probably hadn't stretched in a bunch of those directions. Look at Jeff Carey go low for it. Bad pass there and a steal. Clemens will jam it. Makes it 92-53. As for the effort tonight for Aaron Miles with those 12 assists, that'll tie him for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th best assist game in Kansas history. How about that? Ties him with Jacques Vaughn, who had a couple, Ryan Robertson, Adonis Jordan, and Cedric Hunter. But, you know, Kirk Heinrich has never had a 12-assist game.
Really?
Bryant Nash trying again. Just won't go for him.
You know, Miles has 12 assists, and Heinrich has 8 in this. 20 assists between your 2 guards. That's pretty good.
You know, they ended up giving Wayne Simeon a rebound. That's the home scoring.
Double-double.
12 and 10. Another double-double. Jayhawks with 3 double-doubles tonight.
Probably hasn't happened very often.
Not points and rebounds. You know, maybe somebody that has points and assists too. Point guard, and then a big man, but
good to see the other senior on this team, Jeff Carey, get a nice bucket. Good pass that time.
10 Jayhawks have scored.
Coach Williams instructing his players to get a quick foul so Lewis Harrison and Chris Zerbe can get into the game. Probably going to take out, Jeff Carey and High Flying Hawks, 92.5 points a game this year. It's the most ever back in 89-90, and that was Coach Williams' first year. That's a lot of points. 97-98, Paul Pierce, Rayford Frentz, all those guys can put some points up back then. Chris Zerbe gets Brett Ballard, and Lewis gets Jeff Carey. Get a little over a minute worth of clock in here. Try to get a couple shots up. You know Zerbe will. The guy jacks it. He'll get this rebound and find a way to score from there, huh?
He'll get it off.
All right, let's spotlight Chris Zerbe. See what he does.
Clock started at 1:23. See how many seconds it takes?
I'm going to say 20 seconds. Okay, work it around. There he comes. Nope.
It was Harrison with a touch. Trying to get in the ball.
Wow, the over-under.
Zerbe being guarded in there by.
Oh,
who is that guarding him in there?
Oh, they
is
gave
that Brian Conklin?
Oh, they gave it to Kansas. I think that went off Chris's knee.
We're at home.
94-57. 57 seconds left.
About the only thing left. This crowd is waiting to see if this team can get to 100. Can they score 6 points?
How about a Lewis Harrison 3 or a Michael Lee 3 to get us to 100?
How about a Todd Kappelman 3? What do you think?
No.
Shoot it.
Yeah, he was open.
Servy's open.
Oh, Michael Lee, get in there.
Oh.
Servy had an opportunity for the board. Can't corral it. 47 seconds left.
What do you get?
4:57.
Free chalupa. What do you get at 100? Something
Hey,
like
that's in Dallas.
Dallas.
You get a chalupa, and that starts a melee sometimes.
You get a free pizza shuttle. Or what's Domino's? I'm sorry.
Free Domino's. Come on.
Get it up, Servy. Come on.
Look at the spin move. No, Michael Lee. He tips it in.
Well, if you're a smart player, you just follow Chris Servy because you know he's going to shoot it. Michael Lee's been watching film. Zerby's coming in. I'm right behind you, buddy.
96-57. Conklin, the leaner, no chance. Michael Lee's got a rebound.
5-point play or 4-point
Off and
play?
running all the way. Michael Lee charged. He charged. It won't count. Call came right away. Boy, great move though.
For all the breaks that Kansas has got, that is not a break. Because this
Look at Coach Williams.
He's on the floor.
He's yelling at the official with a.
Oh, the guy was falling before he got to him.
A 40-point game, and Roy is on his feet.
Coach is mad. Look at him.
Look at him. He is. Look where he's going.
He's gonna go shake hands. He's not.
He's walking all the way to the end of the court, yelling the whole way. Barry Collier shakes Roy Williams' hand, and that will do it. Your final score, 96-57 on the Subway scoreboard. All Jayhawks all the time, Greg. I don't think really anybody expected this.
96-57. Yeah, that's big, and no one expected that. Where's Coach Williams? Did you see how mad he was? And that shows the kind of competitor he is. He's not trying to run the score up, but when his guys get in there, he wants to get every possible minute and every possible good thing that can happen if they do something good. And that time Michael Lee got hosed out of a bucket and a free throw, but it's the way it goes.
That's how it goes. Jayhawks led in scoring tonight by Nick Collison, 20 points. He also led the team in rebounding with 13. Again, 3 Jayhawks with double-doubles tonight. Wayne Simeon and Drew Gooden join Nick Collison. That's going to do it, folks. #1 team in the nation survives. Survives.
Survives.
Like
Good one.
96-57. It was all Jayhawks from the start. I'd like to thank everyone in the truck, everybody running cameras tonight. Glenn Hoy, appreciate it, helping us out with stats tonight. Hope you enjoyed the game. I know he's got some Nebraska ties, so I don't know if he was thrilled about it or not. But Greg Gurley, appreciate it, sir. Good to have you back. We'll do this again very shortly.
January 19th.
Yes, we will. That one should be fun. 2 top teams and maybe the top 5. For Greg Gurley, I'm Kevin Romery. It was all Jayhawks tonight, folks. Your final score, 96-57.